हेलो ऑल, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। स्वागत है आप सबका मेरे इस चैनल पर।
These reasons for implementation of PDM can be divided into two classes. The first class is where the PDM system appears to elevate problem or to lessen or to reduce the problem. Because of the PDM system, problems will be reduced. And second reason can be divided into class that it appears to make impact on the operation. So we have seen two cases now earlier in the importance. What are the two cases? One, it will give data and that data will help to reduce the upcoming problem. So that is the first case here. PDM system appears to elevate or lessens the data or sorry, not lessens the problem, not data. And second, it appears to make impact on operation. So you can see that because of the PDM data that is available, the quality of the product will be improved and it will be more impactful. Okay, so these are the two classes in which the reasons for implementing of PDM can be divided. Now there are total 11 categories as I told you. So these 11 categories falls in two different classes. So some are for removing or lessening the problem and some are for making impact. What is the topic? The topic is why PDM is implemented. जरूरत क्या है PDM implement करने का? No, why this is categorized in LN group? It is categorized in LN group because there are people who will say, I don't want to implement PDM. Even if the top management want the PDM to be implemented, people will be reluctant to implement and they will give several reasons. Now to answer these several reasons, these are the reasons given why PLM should be implemented. What is the benefit? Okay, so we'll start this one by one. So the first point here is information. So now you will see slides like this where in this yellow background you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so whenever you will see this information management means I am talking about the first reason. Now it is also further classified each and every reasons. Okay, so this is the topic. It is implementation of PDM. I will not make changes right now. You just remember it is PDM and not PLM. Okay, the first point here is information management. Now, what is information? Information means data. Okay, and what is information management? Management means keeping the data in a proper way so that it is kept properly and whenever it is required, it can be given to someone. That is management. And another point that is important in management is what? It is the analysis of data. Now, for example, if I take the cricket match is going on and suddenly the commentator wants the data of say Virat Kohli, okay, and they want data of Virat Kohli only of test and only of abroad test, only as a captain. So you can see there are so many filters applied. Okay, the data is there, but then this can be called as a type of analysis. Okay, so that data has also to be given. Okay, and that has to be given as demanded. So you can see there also there is some software which is there, and through that software that data is given to the commentator, which then and then it is displayed on the screen, and we can also see the information. So that is called as information management. Information management, it is divided into three categories. The first is basic data control and management, second is data access, and third is advanced information control and management. Now I'm repeating, just pay attention. We are studying the various reasons for implementation of PLM. PLM implement करने की जरूरत क्या है? So there are 9 reasons that those are found out. 9 reasons. अभी हर एक रीजन में भी और एक सब क्लास हो सकता है. ओके, हर एक रीजन में भी और एक सब क्लास हो सकता है या दो सब क्लास हो सकते हैं. Now first is information management. Now in information management, what it says, it is about managing the information. Okay, about managing the information. Now this is also classified into three categories: basic data control and management. So what it says, it talks about the basic data. Okay, basic data, just collection of control of data. So we will see this detail again. What is this? It is talking about data access. किसको एक्सेस रहेगा, कैसे एक्सेस रहेगा, क्या रहेगा, इट टॉक्स अबाउट दिस. एंड देन द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट हियर इज एडवांस इंफॉर्मेशन कंट्रोल एंड मैनेजमेंट. हाउ द इंफॉर्मेशन which is needed. Now I gave you an example of Virat Kohli statistic that is needed. So that is information control. That there a person who will do that should have the knowledge about cricket. Okay, like if it is for industry, then the person should have knowledge of that particular product, then only he can give the information. So we'll see this now one by one. The first is basic data control and management. Now this slides which are presented as, they are presented as able to do means because of PDM, all these things will be possible. All the remaining slides for this topic of reason for implementation of PDM are presented in such a way that if PDM is implemented, this will happen. This will happen like this. So everywhere you will find that it's able to do, able to control. All these things are written. So we'll go one by one. So basic data control and management is the first data information management topic or subtopic. We will be able to now, I will use the word we, or sometimes I can use the word you also, but then I think I will use the word we now, because we will be able to do it. Okay, so we will be able to control all the different versions of data, and new product lines result in more variants and versions, and we will be able to handle them as well. Then second is we'll be able to manage the use of unreleased data. Unreleased data means the data which is not yet published to anyone. Okay, it is unreleased, it is there with the concerned department only. That can also be properly managed. Able to provide a quality service to user. Now, since the data can be properly managed and it can be given to the customer whenever it is required, so it can provide quality service to the user. Now, what data can be given to the user? The data of, say, specifications of a machine, or specification of a car, specification of a mobile. This is what a data that is given to the customer. Okay, so it can be given properly to the customer. So quality service can be given to the customer. To up-to-date status information on product data. Now, this top level authorities or whosoever is concerned with this, maybe a product development management manager or all the C people, they will be able to take better decision if the data is properly available to them. Able to control access to the data, they will be able to control who is accessing the data, and they can provide password or anything else for access to the data. They will be able to, or we will be able to reduce the amount of paper in circulation. Everything will be in the form of soft copy, so no paper will be circulated for data, and it will not be lost. It will be there in the system, in the PC, whatever it is, and or on cloud, whatever it is, and then this paper work will be reduced. Able to make sure we meet legal and regulatory requirements. Now, if we analyze some of the data and we come to know that, for example, the gas that is used in AC now, if there is some regulation coming from the government, then it can be checked. Okay, this gas is used for these years, and now the regulation is like this. So we can switch over from one gas to other gas. And if that is to be done, what are the other changes that has to be made in the coil? Whether the material of the coil, the thickness of the coil, all this can be thought of and properly analyzed. So we'll be able to make sure we meet legal and regulatory requirements. Able to track back what's and to see what happened. Okay, if something goes wrong, then we will be able to just go back, just as we go in flashback, we can go back and check what was not done correctly, because of which some issue has happened. Another point is able to reduce the number of people involved in data management and control. So maybe there are 10 people who are involved in doing all this paperwork. Now, if that is done by a software or system where data is managed in soft form, then the number of people involved may be reduced and they can be shifted to some different location. So all this talk about what? The basic activity of data controlling. And here no knowledge of the data is needed. बस डेटा है उसको स्टोर करके रखना है, किसको एक्सेस देना है, बस उतना ही. No detailed knowledge about what type of data is it that is needed here. Okay, in this basic data control and management. Now the second part here is the data access. So whom should have the access of data? That is the part of this information management. That is explained here in this data access part. So don't have to waste time waiting to receive data. Already the access will be there for the data, and people will not have to waste time to get the data from some person. I have demanded for the data to that fellow or to the higher authority or to whosoever is, and he is not giving me the data. It will take 8 days for him to give me the data, and 8 days I will be doing nothing. I will be sitting idle since the data is not there. So that will not happen. So don't have to waste time receiving the data, and that will be able to reduce the lead time. Things will happen quickly because data is available, and there cannot be any excuses why activity is delayed, because data is not available, so activity is delayed. So that will not happen. Okay, we'll be able to save time, because I just now I told you time can be saved as it can be data can be available. Data is available easily. Also in this I would like to give an example. If there is a query from the customer, then query can be easily accessed because the data is available. If it is not available, then what will happen? In order to solve the query, the person who is attending the query will have to go back, search what was the exactly issue and how it happened and all those things. But that will be reduced here, and time will be saved. Then we'll be able to reduce the overhead cost. So all other activities like paper, administrative activity, the printing of paper, and other people are involved in it. Maybe sometimes the paper is to be transferred from one department to other department or from one location to other location. Every time overhead cost is involved, the cost required for traveling and all that, that can be reduced. Then the next point here is able to get the right information to the right person to the at the right time. So this is possible if the data is there, then and access is there, then it can be given to the right person in the right place. Okay, so this is second element of this information management. Data can be accessed, and the third is advanced information control and management. In information management, we had seen three types. First is basic data. So here the people involved will be here the people involved will check only the data. They will keep only the data. Okay, then the second part here is data access. So all those who are involved in this will work on to whom the access should be given. And now third is advanced information control and management. Now why this is put in advanced information? Because here the person will need the knowledge of technical knowledge of the about the data. Technical knowledge about the data. For example, if the tire of the vehicle gets burst, then what is the data that is needed to be provided related to the tire? The tire of the vehicle get burst after use of say 500 kilometer, and it has happened frequently with many vehicles. Then what happens? Then it will come back to the company, and then they will be able to trace it. But then for that also, which data has to be given? That is to be understood. So a person who has technical knowledge about data, that person only can work in this environment for this thing. So that's why it is given the name of advanced information control and management. So PDM system will help track simple relationship. Okay, relationships such as those between specifications and design data. There are some specifications, and related to specifications, what is the data needed. So that this can be given by the person who has knowledge in this field. Only he can do. So the PDM system will help to do that. It will help relate the view of the product structure. Now the product structure which is understood by one department and the product structure which is understood by the second department or third department, is it the same or not? Is it the same or not? Are they on the same track? Are they following the same guidelines? That can be understood by the PDM system, and the person who is related to this may check whether the product structure understood by different different department is same or not, by collecting some of the data, analyzing it. PDM system will offer classification and intelligent search functions. Okay, so in order to search now, just type something in Google and it will give you what it wants. So machine learning is there. So here also intelligent search function is available or can be available. Because of that, it can finding the information becomes easy. PDM system will manage the transfer of product data from one location to another location, can be transferred and can be transferred without any error. Just to give an example, if you are typing email address of someone, then you may make some mistake while typing the email address. But if you are copying it from somewhere and then just pasting it, then there are chances of no error. Then PDM will provide information about product data it manages. So there will be unique definition of each data element. For example, if we talk about definition of path followed, for example, path followed. Okay, so path followed is the sequence of activities involved in it, how the path is followed. Or for example, Gantt chart. Gantt chart will tell us the schedule. So already this is already research is done on it, and the same name can be given to it. Now again, finding another name for that activity. Okay, process chart or process plan. Already name is given to it. So again, there will not be waste of time in searching for new information, new definition, or new way of defining the particular activity. So system will provide a unique definition to each data element. Then it will provide information about product data it manages. So information will be there, so people will not have to waste time and money in reinventing the data which is already available. Then will reduce the time and effort to access the information. Okay, that is already understood, that it will require less time for accessing the. And finally, because of this, there it will reduce the lead time, it will reduce the errors, and it will reduce the cost incurred. So this is the first part, information management. Because of PDM, all these things will happen. That is the reason the PDM should be implemented. Next, now the next part is here, just to show you this. Just now we have seen information management. Now we will see reuse of information. Now by the name itself, we understand that reuse of information means information is already there, and we have to use it again. Reuse of information. So it will save time and money by reusing information. Already I have explained this to you. If through the product of egg boiler and potato boiler, already information is there and it can be reused uh, by the company. Now, if the information is reused, when we reuse the information, we shall have fewer quality problem. Already quality issues were discussed with the earlier product, and there is some information about it. So that quality problem will not occur since we are already using their information and earlier data. Had we been doing it for a first time, then there would be quality issues. So that can be eliminated. Speed up our development cycle. Okay, you already understood this, that already a lot of people have worked, they have done brainstorming and they have made a product. Now we are making a similar product. So the time required for this brainstorming and other activity for building a prototype, all that time can be speed up so that development cycle will be fast. This also I have already discussed. It will reduce the scrap. It will reduce the scrap. Number one, during the manufacturing stage, and number two, if it is already delivered to the customer and it comes back, then again it's a scrap. So that will be reduced. Why all this is happening? Because we are reusing the information. Next is reduce data re-entry cost and time. Again the same data is entered, again the same data is fed into the system. So that time and cost required for that and the people associated with that will be reduced. Schedule more accurately. As the earlier product information is with the product developer, he can exactly tell that new product can be launched in 2 months time, 3 months time, or 1 year time, because he has all the information for the earlier product, which is going to help him tell what will be the schedule of the new product. Reduce the overall cost of the product. Obviously the cost of the product will be reduced because the time required in developing the product and the amount required in developing the product is also reduced. Also the CAD model or the part of the CAD drawing can be the earlier CAD drawing only. If the new product is almost similar to the earlier product, then most of the drawings can be the earlier drawing, or those drawings can be edited. There is no need to make a new fresh drawing. That will also save the time. Support concurrent engineering. Concurrent engineering means the activity will not be done sequentially, it will be done at the same time. So I think this concurrent engineering I already discussed with you. So at the same time, different activities can be carried out. Because of this, the time required for bringing the product to the market will be reduced. Reuse data to trace the source of problem. Okay, this also I discussed. If we have information about the product, then we can find out where was exactly the problem because of which the product has failed. And if we don't have any information about how the product is manufactured, then maybe we cannot tell what is the reason for the failure of the product. Okay, so this is the second point, reuse of information. And by reusing the information, all these are the benefits, and because of these benefits we will say that uh, there is the reason for implementing the PDM system. Next is workflow management. Now here PDM system will make sure that the most appropriate process is followed. Already it is the established process. For example, if you want to make your timetable of study, then what will you do? If you have already made the timetable, then you will refer that timetable, or if someone has the knowledge of how to make timetable of study, you will refer that timetable. Generally, if you are going for higher examinations like IAS or IAS examinations, people will refer to the videos of those who are successful, and they will now in those videos or interviews they will be telling how I studied, what was the study pattern, and then we will try to follow that. So already there is something and we are using it, so we can ensure that it's the most appropriate process, and we will see few more interviews like this, and based on that whatever is suitable to us, that we will follow. But then it is already gone through a series of failures. That's why this process that has come is the most appropriate process. Then it will clean up product development. Clean up product development here means that there will be a lot of issues there in the manufacturing of a product. Okay, there may be some bottleneck. Maybe just to give an example of this bottleneck, there are three machines A, B, and C. Parts are processed in sequence. First it goes to A, then it goes to B, then it goes to C. The same part goes to B, the same part goes to C. Now, unless and until the part is processed on A, B will be idle. Unless and until the part is processed on A and B, C will be idle. Then, how it can remove the bottleneck? Again, the analysis can be done that how the operations on A can be scheduled in such a way that by the time operation on A is completed, the earlier operation on B is completed. Okay, so that B does not remain idle. So the product from A, as soon as it comes from machine A, it goes to machine B. So the idle time can be reduced, and the bottleneck, if any, suppose the material is lying in work in process inventory, that can be reduced, and this will always obviously remove the reduce the cost incurred for the product. Final cost of the product will can be reduced. Then workflow management, here we can see that get control of the product development. Okay, so again product development can be done properly because all the activities required for developing the products are already known to us. Improve resource utilization and project coordination. Coordination can be improved. Tasks which are on priority can be taken first. The low priority task can be scheduled next. Handling of people can be properly done. Handling of people in the sense, if the task is important, then few people can be sent to that activity, and then for other activity which is not important or less important, people can be removed from there. So resource utilization in terms of money, material, and men can be properly done if there is PDM system. Improve project visibility and status information. Obviously, we will come to know how the project is going, in how many days we can complete the project, and what is the information about the status of the project that can be properly forecasted. Reduce product development cycle time. See, again the same thing has come. So again and again these things are coming. So your entire focus should be on, I told you two things, but you have to write, just remember these points. That's it. But then you must be thinking why it is repeated here, product development cycle time. See, if workflow management is there, there will be reduction in the product development cycle time. Again, just to show you, I will stop here for this. See, engineering change management. Now if engineering change management, we have already studied this in PLM, engineering change management. So again, if this is there, then also we will say that the then also we say that the product development cycle can be reduced. Also, if see, reuse of information, if reuse of information is there, then again here also I can say that the product development cycle can be reduced. So final aim is the same, but the heads in which it is done is different. The people involved in are different, and the activities are done are different. That's why you will see that all these 9 points itself are different points, but the all the 9 points help to do what? Help to do only two things. Only two things that I have already discussed. We were here. Reduce product development cycle. Then reduce the rework, as the scrap will be less. We know what exactly is to be done while manufacturing the product. Then the scrap will be reduced, and rework will also be reduced. If you don't know the process, then there will be a rework, but we know it. That's why for example, from the earlier product we got an idea of that, as I told you about example of tire. So tire burst after 500 kilometer. So what can be done? Can the material be slightly modified, or the process in which the tire is made, can it be changed? Can some other part be added to it? Okay, all this can be thought of, and it will reduce the rework. This will make sure that it will not rework will not happen. Then the reason for implementation of PDM may, now we are discussing workflow management in continuation. Now it says that reduction reduce the volume of paper in circulation. Okay, so no need to talk on this. Make sure that the information available when needed. That also you have understood. Bring geographical distinct engineers together. Now this is talking about collaborative engineering. Collaborative engineering is different people in different locations can come together. Come together does not mean that they physically come together, but they come together for working on one project. Help reduce the number of face-to-face project meeting. Obviously, now you can see face-to-face meetings are reduced. Similarly, if this information will be there, PDM information will be there, so face-to-face meeting will not be needed, and it can be done online, and it can be done quickly. So the time required in moving from one position to one place to other place for attending the meeting, that will also be reduced, and that can be utilized for some better purpose. So everyone will be knowing, each one who is involved in the project will be knowing about the project status, what is happening on the project, what is happening in the project, and what is the next step, and when the product is going to be delivered in the market, everything. So it improves the communication. Everyone knows the status, the communication improves. Make sure that things are done the right way. Okay, so there will be defined practices which were already discussed in the earlier product. Now this will make sure that the things are done the right way. Okay, we are not doing it in the wrong way, and that will reduce the rework. Okay, that will reduce the rework. Next point here is engineering change management. As you have already seen, there are three things can be done in PLM. Okay, better status information. So everyone will have information about the product in a better way. Then to reduce the cost of change management, though the data will be there, so the cost required for change management can be reduced, because a lot of activities which are involved for change management, that can be reduced, because data is available. If there is no data, then people will think, okay, I will have to again do it from the scratch. Why should I do? Okay, so that is the change management. So people can do it quickly because there is data. So the cost required for doing it, change management, to motivating the people also, to changing the people also, that can be reduced. Make sure the most appropriate change process is followed. reduce the cycle time for engineering changes. Okay, cycle time is reduced, matlab product will come faster to the market. Benefits of electronic information flow. Information can flow in electronic mode, means through mail or through whatever mode of transport or transfer of information that will uh, be done, benefited. Then PDM will bring geographically distant people together to work on changes. The same thing which we had discussed earlier in workflow management. Bring geographically distant engineer together. So with workflow management also it is possible, and with engine change management also it is possible. Okay, so that's why it is written in both the places. To make better change management plans, plans can be properly made. Be change of estimate of whatever the costs are needed and how much time is needed, so that can be really that estimate can be more realistic. PDM will make changes easier to manage. The changes can be done easily and quickly as the data is available, and then that data is giving us the information of what change has to be made and where it has to be made. Run changes in parallel and get them done together. Okay, if certain changes are to be done in 2-3 different sections of the product, suppose the quality change are to be done in quality department or manufacturing department, that can be done parallelly, and that will help to reduce the time required, more responsive to change. uh, if for example, if a maintenance is to be done of a particular machine, a maintenance is to be done, preventive maintenance is to be done, then that preventive maintenance can be done. Just to give an example, if you go to a doctor, okay, if you go to doctor, if you have some issue, then if you go to second doctor for the same issue, maybe if you go to the third doctor, then what the doctor will say, okay, have you referred, have you ever gone to any other doctor? Okay sir, I had gone to this doctor. So you can show me what prescription he has given. Have you done the blood test there? Have you done the ECG or all the things? So that third doctor, he can quickly give the suggestion or medicine or prescription, whatever, because there is earlier data available, and then that's why more responsive change can be done quickly.